Two different people came up to me, young guys, and they said, what would you do differently if you were 17 or 18 just starting? And I don't care how old you are, this is what you got to do. I want to talk about it. The single most important idea to change your life. And I always think about this is I've got my son-in-law, my son, daughter-in-law, grandbaby, all the people I love, my family right there, I would not tell them this. I would not say it as the single most important thing if I didn't think it was, if I didn't believe it. And, I got best friends out there to see Big Mike and Adam Katz and all my buddies and Emily Katz and Sarah and Diane. I'm just like, this is it. This is the deal. Okay, your life, your whole life is going to be a victory or a total disaster based on your mind, based on the way you think. So the title of this would be the battlefield of your mind, okay? I think I had an image, I don't know if it went up, that y'all can see the way I picture this going down. This is my army man attitude of this image, Battlefield for the mind. So your life is won or lost in that 6 inches between your ears. I've heard this talk say it's about voices and choices. I'm kind of going that route with this. There's four different things that are causing stuff to happen in your head, okay? 4 different inputs. You got internal, you got external, you got eternal, and you got infernal. There's 4 simple places that things come from that change everything in your life. So if I say it like this, we need to think about the things that we think about. I saw Jeff Bright over there. Jeff talks about discipline. And I've said this, I would dig ditches to become a multi-billionaire, but I would rather just think differently. You know what I'm saying? Like the work discipline. Like if I could think and grow muscles on my arms, I'm in. But I can fix that. Like immediately, I know the solution for that is to, in your mind, don't give a damn and solve that problem. But the one thing that I wanted to care about was happiness and money and helping other people. So that's the way I started out was have fun. Me and Abian and Katz and a couple other guys and Barry, we're like, number one, we're going to have a good time. We ain't going to have a good time. We're out. Just done. Forget it. We're out. Next thing, we got to have money. We're not in it to be broke. We're not in it to waste time. We're in it to have some money. And then we're going to eat good. And that's what we've done. Now, this pastor come along, he convinced me to make a difference in there. I was like, that don't rhyme or nothing. It's long. It's like a whole sentence. I get it. It'll sound good morally, though, to everybody. All the do-gooders will be fired up about it. And he's like, you really need to be that. I said, all right, have fun, make money, and make a difference. We're going to eat good, though, bro. I'm going to tell you what. All right, so think about what you think about. Now, here's something to think about. We are the best. Your team needs to keep saying you're the best as far as being most ambitious, most focused, and most urgent. So that thing I say about speed, if you want to get rich faster, you got to do things quicker. Duh. You can't think about procrastinating. You can't think about waiting. It makes everything take longer. Takes longer. You don't want to take longer, do you, to get there? So if you're 17, if I'm you, I want to get there by the time I'm 18. I want it to be big by the time I'm 18. If you're 52, by God, let's go. You sure as hell don't want to wait. I was talking to this one old couple. They was riding down the road talking to me, husband and wife. They was talking, asking me all kinds of questions, reading books, and they were just, I don't know, they was trying to figure stuff out. And I said, look, let's just face it. Y'all too old to learn anything. You're going to die before you read 3 more books. You need to figure out how to get rich now. So let me just cut through the crap and tell you what you got to do. So the way you think is huge. Now, if you're 17, 18, I get frustrated. I don't know if that's the word. It's when I want somebody to do so much better than they're doing. Like I think they're capable of 10 times more than they are. And I think that's a good thing because people are going to rise and fall to the expectations you set of them. So if you think they're lower, they're going to fall to that. If you think they're higher, they're going to rise to that. But that's just a thinking game. But then I'll think about it and I go he's only young. He's only 25 years old. What was I thinking when I was 25? I don't remember. I can't remember because I know how that works. I know how your memory just makes up stuff. I'll be telling something. I know this. Me and Jane do not remember the same events. It is absolutely not the way I saw it go down. That was right there. I was an eyewitness. I would hate to somebody die close to me and then depend on eyewitnesses to tell the story. I'd be like, that is not what happened. So by the way, do you ever wonder why women think like they think? Or your wife. So here's the way it goes down. Men wonder why women think like they think. Women wish men would think. Jane be like, what was you thinking? So I wasn't thinking nothing. I just did it. Last night, that's what she said. Why'd you do that? I said, I don't know. Hell, I don't know. Just right there. I just did it. I won't never do it again. I'm thinking to myself, good luck with that, retard. Talking about myself. Can you call yourself that? I know I'm not supposed to say it about anybody else. Can you call yourself that? So we need to think about what we're thinking about. All right, 4 different places. External is stuff like media, social media. Like right now, I ask people, I ask Jeff sometimes, I say, come in here. Here's what I'm seeing on social media. Is this real or is it my perception? And he talks. It's good stuff. He talks. So television. You know, I'm a big television guy. I mean, my mama used to, like, I remember we got a Cadillac. Mama was telling me how rich we were. And I was like, Mama, it's used and it's a Cadillac. There's 2 things that is not that, we're not rich. Because I was watching television, watching Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Mercedes and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm a country boy. I ain't never been out, the little community we're in, but we ain't rich. I know we ain't rich. I seen it on television. So stuff you see on television, Law and Order, you name it, whatever you like, it's stuff that's people that are talking to you, conversations, parents. So that's external, stuff that's happening around you. And then internal is your imagination and your memory. And that's what I'm saying, it's jacked up. Because like I know people that tell these stories about their dad and how he gives so much input for them. Like they talk about how great he was. And then I find out that's just what they say. They had a terrible childhood and they hated him, but they say they love him because they think it'll sound better. And then they tell themselves that. So that's internal thoughts. Your memory, your imagination, anything you create, anything you make up, the way you remember it, anything like that is internal thoughts. Then there's infernal, and that is from the depths of hell. That's like, and some people may not believe this, and this is a little controversial, but I'm telling you what you asked me. You got to work on your mind. There's a old movie I used to recommend people, you're going to have to watch this to get rich. Cool Hand Luke. Like if you ain't ever seen Cool Hand Luke, that movie, I suggest you watch that. Because that sheriff's always talking to Luke. He said, you better get your mind right, boy. And that's what I think about when I think about what I'm thinking about and I don't like it, I pull out the Cool Hand Luke voice and I say, you better get your mind right, boy. And he meant that thing too for that kid. So this controversial, demons, devils, fallen angels, spirits, can come after your ass. Like you can't do nothing about it. All right? Now, I don't like horror movies because I think about it, dream about it, imagine. I remember my little days say, go down to the bar and get something. I said, oh, hell no. It wasn't about 120 yards in the dark. I walked down there and my butt would run back. I do not like horror movies. So I didn't want to go watch this movie. It's called Nefarious. Anybody seen that? I wasn't going to watch it because it says it's a horror movie. I started watching, I say, no, horror movie, this is real life. My man done been taken over by a demon and got an idiot lawyer, which no offense to the lawyers, but he's an idiot, which I was thinking this is normal because I got a bunch of attorneys, like 1 or 2 good out of 100 that I've dealt with. But that demon's smart. And he was telling him stuff that was 100% correct. And the guy was just mystified, act like he didn't believe it to be true. And I was like, bro, you're going to hell. That demon's going to eat you. So there's evil stuff that attracts you. Some people don't believe it, but how about this? This might make you believe it. It might not. Have you got some stupid, mean, dirty, ugly thoughts that come into your head, and then you think to yourself, I'm a bad person. That's what I used to think until I heard this talk, and I went, wait, I didn't come up with that stupid idea? That was nasty. That was terrible. That was mean. See, and they said, no, devils can put that in your mind. I was like, oh, no shit, I didn't know that. I felt better about myself. I was like, maybe you aren't a worthless, maybe you're not, I'm not going to say was to think I was, but maybe you're not as bad. I was saying to myself, maybe you're not as bad a person as I thought you was when I found out that you couldn't control everything that went in your mind. I felt better about myself. Now, the BIBLE, and specifically, there's a book inside there, the BIBLE, the Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Y'all know that book? Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. The Bible, and specifically, there's a book hidden in there called Romans, and it talks about, it says, what does it say? I wrote it down somewhere. It says, be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewment of your mind. That's what it said, be not conformed. That means don't change to the stupid stuff, renewed by the good stuff. That's what it said. This is my favorite one. This is mess people up right here. I know. Somebody going to quit on this one. I'm just telling you. But I save you a lot of lead roll-ups and chargebacks if they quit off of this one. This one's crazy. This one says, for we battle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. I said, my God. Sound like we're doomed to hell right there. And listen to this, imagine this. Imagine if you don't even know that it's such a thing. If you know it's such a thing, it's going to be a dogfight, bro. Like, look, like when you're miserable, you're unhappy, marriage, children. I ain't talked to that kid, and that kid ain't talked to me. I ain't spoke to my mama. It's just the by God game, and you're getting killed because you don't know the rules. If you knew the rules, you'd stand a fighting chance. See what I'm saying? Let's get your mind right. That's all it is. And it's a non-stop battle. Happy life, your mind got to be right. Bunch of money, your mind got to be right. Get to travel, freedom, mind got to be right. Relationships, tons of friends. That's what people, but you be happy or rich. Happy all day long. I prefer happy. And then people go like, well, I don't know if you're happier than I am just because you're rich. I go, what do you want to judge it by? You want me to have friends line up? You want to have my mama talk to you? What do you want to hear? Like, this is a game to me. How many friends you got? How tight are your friends? Who would die for you? Who would kill for you? You want to compete? Let's compete, because that's my goal. It's a game. That's the game. How many people you get from here on earth to heaven? That's it. It's just a game. How many you got? How many you got? I love it when people call me back and their life has changed. I don't care if they're with us or not. I coach people that ain't in our business. You know, we've given millions and millions and millions and millions to the entrepreneur school at NC State. I coach those kids, and they're on me for more, baby. They smell it. I hope integrity does go public, because I ain't no telling what kind of promises when I was made when I was drinking, talking to those NC State people. All right. So that's 4 different places okay, so here's some stuff. Here's some thinking. This is yes, and this is no. Opportunities, yes. Obstacles, no. God's promises, your problems. Yes, no. Best case scenario, worst case scenario. Do have, don't have. Do have is what I need is a yes, yes. So when they come into your mind, you get a choice. One man said, I don't care who you are, birds are going to be flying over your head. The question is, will any of them nest in there? So thoughts come in, do you let them nest? Do you let them build a nest in your head? How do you handle it? Anytime somebody, here's what we call in this business. I could list, this one's doing it, this one's doing it. They shoot themselves in the foot, but they will defend their actions as genius. And everybody around them sees them shooting themselves in the foot because their mind is jacked up. Their mind's terrible. They can't get their mind right. And some of them don't even know it's a mind game. Love me, hate me. There's people that love me, there's people that hate me. There's people that love you, and there's people that hate you. Think about the ones that love you. Victories and failures. Which ones? Which ones? Okay, so identifying thoughts. As a thought comes in your head, you need to have a conversation with yourself about that thought. Where did it come from? Did it come from your imagination? Did it come from hell? Did it come from heaven? Did it come from a good friend? Did it come from an idiot? Taking advice from idiots. Taking advice from people who have failed 4 times in the subject you're talking about. And you go, yeah, but they've failed so much, they should be good at it by now. It don't work like that. He's on a repeat pattern, bro. It's not going to change. That's why, oh, by the way, I want to say this about this crowd. I've been meaning to say this. When was Breakthrough? Was Breakthrough 2 meetings ago? It was the last meeting. I beat y'all up about bringing sharp people. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? I was like, I'd be frustrated too if that was my team. And you're like, what do you mean? I go, they're going to lose. You got to lose until you get a bunch of little short people trying to play basketball, can't jump, can't run. You got mental midgets. They're not going to do it. And so what I have seen, to your credit, it looks like y'all changed who you're recruiting. Y'all bringing smart, good-looking people, ambitious people. Seriously, me and Marcus said, I was like, I think my talk took. So I remember last event, and I was like, oh, God. They would say, I recruited him and her. I'd be like, ugh. That's good. That's good. They're going to be awesome. Because I knew a thought from hell was coming in my head. So I just said, yeah, that's right. But I was thinking, I can't keep doing this. And so I ripped into. So how many brand new people, first big event, stand up. Let's give these people a hand. These are good-looking, smart people. These are good-looking, smart people I'm talking about. See, look at them. Look around. Look around. Look around. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. All right. Y'all sit down. All right, all the ones that recruit them, y'all stand up and clap for yourself. Y'all improved. Y'all did better. Y'all did better. All right, that's enough. You ain't got that many. I'm not kidding. I was debating. I was like, maybe I ought to hit them again with that. But I'm going to go with encouragement instead of beating. Because you know what we say, there's always carrots and the stick, the consequences and the opportunities. I'm going to preach opportunities, not consequences. Because I was mad last time. All right, so here we go. Stuff from hell and stuff from heaven. Fear from hell, worry from hell, anger from hell. No, I'm not kidding you. I will be in a meeting and I know my face, my voice, I the F words coming, it's all kinds of stuff. And then I'll stop, I say, let's be clear. I am not mad. I'm just trying to get you in the right set of mindset to change what you're doing stupid. No, I'm not angry. I'm really not. And then I go back to cussing and throwing stuff again, just like any angry person would do. Does that make sense? I mean, if that makes any sense, but I ain't angry. I don't care. Making 500 times more money I ever made in my life. My wife's cute. She makes it sound real good on stage. And I kept my boots on. Hatred, selfishness, greed, pride, division, self-pity, judgment. I like this one. Judgment for you, mercy from me. That's the way people want it. They want to judge everybody. But for them, they got a reason. It's mercy. In other words, it's okay for them to do it because it's mercy. So mercy's from heaven, encouragement, faith, gentleness, gratitude, peace, love, blessings, unity, compassion, creativeness. Hey, how about this? Who's the most creative person in the world? The Creator. The Creator. That's what the inmate, the one that's got the demon, he calls him the Creator and the Carpenter. The guy says God. He said, he's a creator. I give him that. He won't give him the God title. He just gives him the Creator title. I was like, that's pretty good right there. Tricky he is. And the Carpenter. You ought to watch it. I'm not kidding you. If you like Spencer Outwitting the Devil, that's what it is. Have you seen it yet? You're going to like it. All right. So what you're doing is I got good news for you. You can win this battle. Like, it's winnable. And there's so few people do it, it's not a big problem. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, if everybody was winning, the underworld would get all upset. But there's only few people winning. And the way I looked at getting rich, like, there's only a certain amount of multimillionaires in America. And now it's actually more than ever, but it's a tiny amount. And I was like, what is one more person going to? It will not upset the apple cart, and it won't. So winning this battle is doable because there's so many people terrible at it. So like, if you just win it, nobody's going to be like, it's kind of like this. We got dogs at all our houses. People rob people that don't have dogs. That's just the way it works. I can get a dog because there's not many people getting robbed, but the few that are getting robbed don't have dogs. Does that make sense? And I'm walking around with a gun all the time too, shooting and stuff, just, make sure they know there's dogs. What do they call a dog? Gun that barks over here and bites over there. As long as they know guns in the house, that guy's got guns and dogs. Let's just go over here and get one easy. Does that make sense? So it's the same thing. There's people that are getting jacked up by the demons and the social media, and they're just messed up in the head. Here's the thing. Media and the world right now has people convinced that they can't help it. It's hilarious. Like, if you think you can't win because you're crazy, they call it mental health. It's a craze right now. This little girl I was coaching, what the heck was her name? Remember the Indian girl that's real NC State? She comes up and she's talking to me. She's an entrepreneur at NC State. And she says, how do y'all deal with a work balance? I was like, what? I was like, Haley, come here. How do we do a work balance? She said, we work all the time, we play all the time. I was like, that's how we handle it. We call it 24/7. You see the hats, you see the shirts, see my family. We're recruiting, we're building. He's over there recruiting him. He's selling insurance. He's talking about the game. We're having fun or making money. And she said, I said, and while I'm on that, this mental health kick, you ain't never going to be right, so don't worry about it. All you got to do is win the game of the mind game. It's not like you're never not going to have stupid thoughts. Like, for example, here's a stupid thought. I never thought about killing myself, but I damn sure thought about killing some other people. And that is not right. That is not, but thought just comes back, and I'll be like, nah, I don't like prison. I don't like taking showers with other people and a lot of other stuff. I'm out. Okay, so by the way, hear what I said is you can win. You're not so disabled with your mental health that you can't win this. You can. It's actually simple. It's simple. However, it takes a lot of renewing and a lot of discipline. This is what it takes. You have to be on this game all the time. Okay. All right. So here's the way things happen. You think about something, you meditate on it, you ponder, and then it happens. So if you're thinking about the worst, expecting the worst, it's like you talk it into existence. That's what it is. You talk it into existence. You manifest it. All right. So I was thinking about this talk and thinking about books that have helped me. All right. So there's a book called Chronicles of Narnia that has sold 120 million copies in 47 different countries. There's a guy named C.S. Lewis. He's written some crazy cool stuff. Like, one of my favorites is The Problem with Pain. P-A-I, like pain when you get hurt. I read that and I was like, you can't argue with nothing in that book. But this one's called The Screw Tape Letters. and a masterpiece of satire on hell's latest novelties and heaven's unanswerable questions. It's the senior devil. What the hell's his name? He's talking to his nephew, Wormwood. Dear Wormwood. And he writes, and the letter's not in order. So basically, he has uncovered his friend Toadpipe. He's in there too. Screwtape. So the uncle's named Screwtape, and he's writing to his nephew, Wormwood. And he's explaining to him how to mess up this guy, how to get in his head, and how to get the young man to think it's something that it ain't. And so since you know what he's trying to do, you can fight it. It's good. It's entertaining and good. I didn't even think about this book until I saw Spencer, because he called me one day. I bribe my kids for books. James like, why are you paying them to buy books? I go, it's called bribery incentive. I want them to read. I don't want them to be morons when they get older. I want them to be smart, know stuff that everybody else don't know. Spencer called me about that book. He said, has everybody read this book? I said, hardly nobody read it. He's like, everybody in the world should read this book. I was like, I know that. Sell it. Tell all your friends to read the book. It's called Outwitting the Devil. It's bad to the bone. I ain't got time to sell it to you, but it's bad to the bone. This one, right, and only 500,000 of these has ever been sold in the world. Only 500,000. That's not many. So if you read this book, it puts you way above where other people are. This one right here, Cybernetics, 30 million people have read this one. This is how to tap into your subconscious or your mind. Discover the key to a happier, more successful life. I remember I hired this girl one time, and I was telling her about reading these books, and she said, you mean the things they say on the cover are true? I was like, what do you mean? She said, I thought they put it on there just to sell the books. I was like, yeah, they do. It tells you what the book's about. Like if you have one that says better housekeeping, what do you think it's going to be about? What do you think? They just put that on there to sell the book to people that like housekeeping? God, that woman was dumb. I don't know why I hired her. I ain't going to say, but this one right here is crazy. Think. When I'm saying get your mind right, this book's think and grow rich. Think. What the heck? 80 million. Only 80 million. So 500,000. You read these 3 books, you be a different person. I'm just telling you. And then work on that mind. You got to look at all this list of things that didn't come from the good. Nothing good's going to come out of it. All right. Remember this. What goes down in a well comes up in a bucket. Input in, input out. Garbage in, garbage out. Good stuff in, good stuff out. It's your job to pour good stuff into that well. Money, money, money into that well. Buying leads. Pouring money into the well. Money in, money out. Intelligence in, intelligence out. What goes down the well comes up in a bucket. Be not conformed of this world. Be transformed by the renewing of the mind. All right. Now, last thing. Another book I thought about in the last 24 hours is called As a Man Thinketh. I remember when I read that book, I was like, holy jeez, I'm not going to tell anybody about it. And I was like, I got a team. I got to get to them about it. I can't have idiots. If I'm going to have a smarter team, you got to read this book. That was real thin. I don't know how many read it, but here's the quote. Here's the way it starts out. Can you pop up those words for me? All right, listen, read this with me. Mind is the master power. I didn't mean out loud. Silently. Mind is the master power that molds and makes. And man is mind, and evermore he takes the tool of thought and shaping what he wills, brings forth 1,000 joys and 1,000 ills. He thinks in secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is nothing but a looking glass, a mirror glass. You've created it. So if it looks like dookie right now, way to go, pile builder. If you see a glimmer of light, go towards it. All right, guys, we get our mind right. This weekend, you're going to have coaching on every angle to help you get your mind right. But these books coach you on those 4 different categories that you need to be aware of and careful which one you feed. You feed the right one, you starve the wrong one. You encourage the right one, you disallow the other one. It's non-discussable. It's the mind game, baby. It's those last 6 inches. It's the hardest part of the trip. Last thing's this. Your mind works like this. You're in an exciting place, a great environment. You get decisions to get subscriptions to 10 different counties. You can get ads, 10 different advertisements. You start texting your friends. Or you become skeptical while you're here and go like, I'm not going to get tricked into doing something crazy, like betting on my future, like investing in myself, like committing to another one of these meetings. Like, bro, where the hell you think that thought comes from? The damn depths of hell. The good stuff's going on up in here. Give it a chance. My decision a long time ago to make decisions in positive environments and to keep the decision after the environment in which it was made is gone. It's called character. But don't make decisions when you're depressed and when you're out by yourself and you're around a bunch of idiots. When you're around ambitious, forward-focused, exciting, happy, wealthy people, find out what they're doing and do that and quit doing the stuff that other people are doing and then do it and do it and do it and do it. I love y'all. I'm out of here. See you. Thanks. Hope it's helped.